If I asked you which came first, chicken or the egg, would you glout would you proudly claim the egg? I am listening to people say things that I have said that other people have said. I am gleaning, understanding different information, appreciating specific things about the information. But once again, if I asked you which came first, the chicken or the egg, would you gladly say that egg came first? Though it may seem impossible, because the story you were told is this egg you see had an incubator and a very warm place to be, and that it was created out of sheer molecules. But if I told you that there was a chicken first, not just one chicken, but two chickens, a female chicken and a male chicken, or a male and a female, however you want to say. And these two chickens obviously have a baby that produces an egg. Now, that might seem like an awkward question to come into this with. But if you tell me that the egg comes before the chicken, then I say to you this: which came first, the Hebrew or the Israelite? And then I ask you within, what came first? That which you call a man of might, or simply the acts that make the man mighty? I'm only asking questions. See, I ask this question too because as I sit here in the book of Genesis, in the chapter of 17, and it's about the covenant of circumcision between a man named Abraham, whose name was Abram, and it was changed to Abram afterwards, and how this covenant, this promise between two consenting parties, is the only thing that makes it real. So, when I read to you things like a young man named Paul, and I'm not sure if anybody knows this, but in the book of the Romans, let me just work my way there. Paul makes several bold statements. The first of which, you could say several things are the first, but we're going to start at chapter 3, and I will slowly work into what I'm getting at. Lamont Sims, I'm going to slowly work my way into that, brother. I recognize that if I did that, I would destroy key pieces that I want to portray. So it's like round 30 of me re-recording. This one's not going to go away. This one is for sure. Chapter 3 of Timothy. What advantage then have the Jew? Or what profit is there of circumcision? Bam, stop right there. And the Most High says to this man, Abram, in chapter 17 of the Genesis, and Abram was 99 years old. And the Lord appeared to Abram and said to him, I am thy God. Be well pleasing before me and be blameless. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and I will multiply thee exceedingly. And Abram fell upon his face, and God spoke to him, saying, And I, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of a multitude of nations. And thy name shall no more be called Abram, but thy name shall be called Abram, or Abram. For I have made thee a father of many nations, and I will increase thee very exceedingly, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee, and I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed forever. Listen, to their generations for an everlasting covenant, to be thy God, and the God of thy seed after thee. And I will give to thy seed and thy seed after thee the land wherein thou sojournest, even all the land of Canaan, or Canaan as I like to say, for an everlasting possession. And I will be to them a God. And God said to Abram, Thou shalt fully keep my covenant, thou and thy seed after thee, for their generations. And this is the covenant. Now listen. And this, one second. And this is the covenant which thou shalt keep, which thou shalt fully keep between me and you, and between thy seed after you, and thy seed after thee, for their generations. Now listen to this. All that was said just then was, I'm about to put you on. I'm about to make you the most on dude anybody ever heard of. And just like I'm your deity now, I'm going to be the deity to your children forever and ever. One moment, he said all that to say this to Abraham. I don't even think anybody understands. He built Abraham up for this, so that way Abraham would go do it and wouldn't be like, why? So he told him all that good stuff, right? And the first thing he said was, walk among me. Right on? Well, it says that in the KJV, be well pleasing before me. It says, walk among me and be thou perfect. I'm pretty sure that's how it says it. Pretty sure. Anyhow, before I get off of this tangent and get off this point, he says, every male of you shall be circumcised. What advantage then hath the Jew? Or what profit is there of circumcision? I just read what circumcision does. The preface to why he wanted Abraham, or to why he was, everything he said to Abraham is the preface. Circumcision is the actual action that needs to be taken in order for those things that were said and spoken and mentioned to Abraham to take place and to take root. You see, they're not just going to take root all by themselves. They're just not. So, while I'm here, I know y'all going to be like, that has nothing to do with nothing. But it has everything to do with everything. Did you know, if you actually read the books of this man, supposedly Paul, and understand that it's said that all the writings are not actually his. Well, one of the interesting things about this is that his biggest thing is circumcision. Yes. Yep. Now, I know a lot of people are like, why is that so important? What does it have to do with anything? Well, circumcision is a means to an end. You see? Who in their wrong mind is going to clip off the skin of their penis? All right then. It's a simple question. So it's an initiation process. Not only that, but for the first time in the whole Bible, we have a guy who has one name whose name is changed. Right. It's just like when you join a gang and they say your name is no longer Joey, we're going to call you Peanut, whatever. You see? So he went from being whoever he was to being Peanut, so to speak. And I'm not speaking ill on Daddy Abraham. I'm just speaking it as it is. With that said, let me stop there. Whoa! 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 Gotta stop right here. Hold on. Let's just read what Paul says, please. What advantage then hath the Jew? Or what profit is there of circumcision? Much every way, chiefly because that unto them were committed the oracles of God. For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect? How can you not believe in God and have faith in him? That's a contradiction. God forbid. Okay. Yea. Let God be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. But if thou unrighteousness commend the righteousness of God, listen, but if our unrighteousness commend the righteousness of God, what shall we say? Is God unrighteous who taketh vengeance? What? Did you hear what he just tried to say? He just tried to double tongue everybody. Listen, this man just said that by you being unrighteous and the Most High being righteous, that it makes him unrighteous to take vengeance upon you. He said, I speak as a man. This is in parentheses. God forbid. For then how shall God judge the world? Listen to this nonsense, foolery coming out of this man's mouth. And you, listen, I cannot stress this enough. I'm going to leave Paul alone for a moment. I'm going to come back to him in a video or so. What I'm going to do, I promise, I'm hodgepodging things together. So my mighty man thing, Brother Lamont Sims, we're going to read a couple verses and we're going to work our way up to it. You see? Because I want you to get my perception of it all. So I'm going to start with these verses and then I'm going to come with my video. I got to go get a bunch of pictures and I'll try to have it done by Friday, Saturday the latest. There's no football game this Sunday, so I'll slave Saturday if I have to. Anyhow, the point is this. Exodus chapter 35, verses 29. No, verses 30. And Moses said unto the children of Israel, not the Israelites, not Hebrews, see, the Lord hath called by name Bezaleel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, and he hath filled him with the Spirit of God, in wisdom, and understanding, and in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship, and to devise curious works, to work in gold, and in silver, and in brass, and in the cutting of stones, to set them, and in carving of wood, to make any manner of cunning work. He hath put in his heart that he may teach both he, this is being Bezaleel, he and Aholiab, the son of Ahishamach, of the tribe of Dan. Them hath he filled with wisdom of heart, to work all manner of work of the engraver, and of the cunning workman, and of the embroiderer, and blue, and purple, and scarlet, and in fine linen, and of the weaver, even of them that do any work, and of those that devise cunning work. That's the premise to understanding what it is that mighty men were working with. Okay? Because mighty men come way after people are given that knowledge and understanding. But understand that people had already committed mighty acts before this. So we're going to go to we're going to stay in the book, the book of Genesis, chapter 48, verse 21. Now understand, when Jacob and Esau were born, it was prophesied that one would be like a man of the field, kind of like a not exactly a warlike man, but kind of hardy. And then the other man is like a man of peace. So with that said, if you are assuming that Jacob is a man of peace, first let's go back and let's encounter the thought that this man of peace was able to wrestle an angel all night, and the angel had to use some form of advanced understanding in physics and everything else, and all kinds of unworldly powers to shrivel up this man's ligament within his thigh, so he walked with the limp for the rest of his life. And the people never ate that part of the meat ever again after that. But that's neither here nor there. This man said this to his son Joseph, verse 21. And Israel said unto Joseph, Behold, I die, but God shall be with you, and bring you again into the land of your fathers. Moreover, I have given to thee one portion above thy brethren, which I took out of the hand of the Amorite, with my sword and with my bow. That means that he did that by force. Can you dig that, people? Now, I'm going to work my way all the way back to something. And I'm going to read something about this man named Abraham. And I'm going to read to you the power level of the Egyptians. So that way y'all don't ever think that I'm tripping. Here we go. And we is going to see exactly what he said. It's chapter 13. One moment. So let's go ahead and hit a couple things up. And Abraham went up. Whoa. Chapter 12. Excuse me. Okay, here we go. Verse 10, chapter 12. And there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down into Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was grievous in the land. And it came to pass, when he would come near to enter into Egypt, that he said unto Sarai, his wife, Behold, now I know that thou art a fair woman to look upon. Therefore it shall come to pass, when the Egyptians shall see thee, that they shall say, This is his wife. And they will kill me, but they will save thee alive. Say, I pray thee, thou art my sister. Let's go ahead and skip forward. Once again, let's go ahead and disclose. There is a famine within this land. Hold on. Chapter 13 real quick. And Abram was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold. Now mind the fact that he came into Egypt, verse 16, and he entreated Abram well for her sake, and he had sheep, oxen, and he had asses, and men servants, and maid servants, and she asses, and camels. You understand? So he already had livestock and servants and all these things. And then it goes on to iterate again to you. And Abram was very rich in cattle, and silver, and gold. Not that he wasn't rich in those things before, but they had to go ahead and stress to you that, like, this dude is not broke. So the reason for him saying what he said to his wife was, number one, so they don't kill me and take everything. And then number two, how high is the power level of the Egyptians? Once again, before I go off into the prelude of this next video, how high is their power level for a man who goes for his nephew and fights kings who have entire armies at their disposals? Kingdoms. How strong are the Egyptians for this dude to forego that fight? Right. The birth of the mighty men, the happening of the mighty men, just like the birth of the Israelites, happened long before they're ever called such a thing. And to insinuate or to assume that one action or a single dictation of thought is the one thing that makes it correct is a flaw. I don't think I know anything more than anyone else. I cannot stress this enough. I only know what it is that I think that I know. But if you have ever heard anything that sounds like what it is that I'm saying, just know that I am not as crazy as it is that people might think that I am. I'm really not, y'all. I'm really not. I'm just off kill. That's all. And I'm a little out there sometimes. But as I say what I say, I want to end on this. Whoo! Spiritual Gumbo Volume 4, Batch 4. Probably one of my best works ever. When I say that in a historical standpoint. A lot of history slung around in that video. A bunch of history. Link to that video going to be in this video. I'll be real. I've been dragging my feet lately. Been feeling some type of way. Not feeling some type of way so much anymore. So the feet dragging is done. Don't worry about that. Once again, I don't know what to call this. You know, this isn't a spiritual gumbo per se. It's scripture heavy. It's not exactly an expound. So I guess I'll just give it a title and upload it. And you guys will tell me what you think. Outside of that, just know that when I come at what I come at about this circumcision thing, and especially with Paul and his catalyst of his argument, just know that when I bring up this man Timothy and the fact that he circumcised a dude whose father is a Grecian, okay, and that Timothy's story parallels that of the son of the Israelitish woman. You know what? I'm gonna stop there. And I'm gonna leave it at this. Watch the video, listen, tell me what you heard. Can't say that you're gonna learn anything, so tell me what you heard. I love my people. I love you. I really do. I love you dearly. You have a wonderful night, wonderful day, wonderful afternoon, you know, and may you pray for your ancestors that their souls may be alleviated with some form of mercy, and that yours be also. With that said, it's always going to be an honor as long as I'm living and I have breath in my body to speak these words. And whether I make it to the hereinafter or my soul gets sent into the sun and overcome with the heat thereof, when I say it has been an honor, and it has been an honor just to know that I have lived and to have had a chance to do anything that I'm doing. Once again, I know I'm not special. I don't think I'm special. I just think I'm Demetrius. I think there are things about me that are different, that are irregular, that I acknowledge about myself, that make me the individual that I am, much like any other person. I would like to not be antiquated to being anything that I'm not. And I will not antiquate you to being something that you are not. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful one. And may the Most High God of everything be put forth and put first in your life. Thank you very much.